Yeah, so I'm gonna do another vlog real quick. Um, just walking around like near my neighborhood. No specific reason other than it's just been like kind of agitated lately. Um, somewhat. Streets are a little pushier than usual. I'm not really sure why. Because the weather outside's really pretty. And like, I mean, I don't know. I'm fine. I don't know what's going on with everybody else, but let's see what I catch on camera. Um, because like, shit, it's like I don't want to go into detail about this anymore. Um, but like I live in Charlotte, North Carolina, which is in Mecklenburg County. And you know, I am how I sound. I'm white, male, suburban. And hold on a second. And basically, that's my demographic. That is my demographic group. Always has been, always will be. I can't change where I come from. But it's weird because, like, for some reason, my background, there's like something, there's something unique about everybody, right? So, like, you could say somebody like me, I'm probably not a blast to be around. I'm probably kind of lame sometimes. I'm from the suburbs, but on the other hand, I got a really good education, right? And I grew up like side by side with like, the who's who of where I live. You might come from somewhere much more exciting. And then there's downsides. But for some reason, my background being from the suburbs, I'm from a neighborhood in Charlotte called Ballantyne. The postal code is 28277. And it's within Charlotte city limits, but it's like kind of like a resort style. It's like kind of like a golf resort, kind of like Pinehurst or Southern Pine in North Carolina. Ballantyne's kind of like that. And just to give you an idea, there are 1, 2, 3, 4. There's like 5 country clubs like in Ballantyne. 5 with like a full golf course, tennis courts, massive HOA pool, multi-million-dollar homes. There's 5 country clubs in Ballantyne. Ardrey High School is a high school I went to. I just looked at the updated rankings in 2023 for for all schools. For public schools in the Charlotte area. I think Ardrey placed second. Out of all the public schools in Mecklenburg, Union, Gaston, Lancaster, York, Cabarrus, Ardrey placed second. And that was like a composite index score that they like formulated based on standardized testing, graduation rate, and percent of graduates to pursue a higher education, like acceptance rates among college applicants from the student bodies of these high schools. Ardrey placed second. So, and it's been like that for a long time. Ardrey is like, by far the best public high school in Charlotte. Ardrey is comparable to a private school. Thinking back on my time there, it was like a miniature college campus because everything there is like college preparatory oriented. It's like AP classes. You're getting college credits. A large portion of the faculty and staff at Ardrey-Kell are like nationally accredited, recognized for excellence in public education. Ardrey-Kell was built in like 2007 or something, but even though it's a very young school, there's some formidable alumnus to come from Ardrey-Kell. Romeo Okwara, Julian Okwara, who plays football. Julian Okwara, starting defensive lineman for the New York Giants, went to Ardrey-Kell. Steven Santa Anna played basketball for Elon University. Prince Shembo, another football player to come from Ardrey-Kell. I think there's a couple baseball players that come from Ardrey-Kell, pro players. I went to a really good high school, and not only did I go there, but I excelled there. I performed well academically, above average, and I played varsity athletics for 3 seasons. I was like the focal point. I was like the best player in my grade, for like 2 seasons. And it's like college was not really a viable option for me because of a combination of different factors. Number one, my income bracket. I was born poor. I'm still poor. And it's just not something I even really considered at any point. Because for me, going to college was contingent on a scholarship or a grant, because I was born poor. I'm still poor. And then also, like, my mom and dad never went to college, so I would have been the first person in my family to go to college, and it just wasn't really a viable option for me. When I was in high school, just to give you an idea, like, none of my teachers asked me if I was going to go to college or if I was applying and trying to enroll anywhere. So I was never really encouraged to go to college. No one even asked me about it. My mom and dad didn't push me to go. They didn't encourage me to go. So it was just not really, and I wasn't super into the idea either. But, I hope people can gather from listening to me talk, about anything, literally about anything, that, I definitely, would have been capable of going to college and getting a degree. But for some reason in the city that I live, they like to just shrug off, my background, like it's nothing. They just pretend like it's it's almost like they just pretend like I'm someone else. They like to just shrug it off like it's nothing that I went to Ardrey-Kell, or that I lived in Ballantyne for 15 years, and that my parents still live in Ballantyne Country Club. They like to just shrug it off that my dad has been a fucking engineer, doing work with the FBI for 20 years. They like to just shrug that off. And they like to shrug off my own accomplishments also. So I have a strong general contracting background, and a strong general contracting background which was interrupted by the police department, and they interrupted me like in my prime, but I have a strong general contracting background. I started working in construction at like 15 or 16 years old, part-time in the summer. I was like a entry-level painter, but turns out I wasn't patient enough to be a good painter. So I started doing drywall installation, and eventually I saw an opening within the company that I was working for. We were losing a lot of money on material, on the delivery of material, and on material being stolen, or on invoices being, sent late or too early, or, quoting the wrong amount, ordering the wrong amount. We were just having issues losing money on materials. And Basically, like when I helped the company. Yeah, I worked for like one of the largest subcontracting companies in Charlotte area, and we were like outsourcing delivery of material to a wholesale supplier, which a lot of people do. I mean, so if you have like a if you really have if you have big contracts in construction and real estate developing, like with Pulte or something, you're not buying your materials at Lowe's or Home Depot. You're going to like a wholesale supplier. And there's like a couple of them in Charlotte. There's Colonial Supplies, L&W Supply, CK Supply. There's like a couple of them. And they undercut the hardware stores like Lowe's and Home Depot, but they recoup their losses in delivery fees because they make you buy in bulk. Number one, they will not break up like a pallet. You got to buy. You got to fill the truck basically, and they have state of the art fleet of vehicles. So the delivery costs a fortune, and they're inflexible, with their schedule. So what I did was I helped us take delivery in-house. So we bought our own fleet of cargo vans and drew up our own routes. And I've hired people and I've fired people, and I have a strong background in general contracting. I formed strong working relationships with people at working for Pulte, Meritage Homes, Century, Lennar, Empire, Shea, Taylor Morrison, David Weekley, LGI, Centex, DR Horton, John Wieland. It's so I have but for some reason they just treat me weird here. And I don't know, and it never stops. Every time I kind of beat them into a corner, it's the police. And so I'd like to see if I catch them doing anything right. I'm just trying to see if I capture anything weird. I'm not going to say anything on this walk. And, I don't want a problem, so I'm just going to walk. I'm just going to see I'm not going to say a word. I'm just going to see what I capture. Okay? It'll probably be about 10, 15 minute walk. I'm just going to circle the block and then come back. I was a logistics and supply chains coordinator for 4 years. And I got that job at 18 years old because I made up my own title. I was working as an entry-level painter. I was doing labor-intensive work. I was working with Hondurans, Salvadorians, and Mexicans who didn't speak any English and who were undocumented. That's where I started off. And I saw an opening and I literally created my own title. And then I headed my own department within the company that I worked for. I was a logistics and supply chains coordinator for 4 years. Super legitimate. I'm a consummate professional. And it's like, I don't know. Let's see what's going on out here. So what if I said nothing? Then I could die tomorrow and nobody would know the person that you killed. That sounds so random after what I just said for 14 minutes. But what I'm trying to say is that nobody is going to toot your horn for you in life. You know what I mean? I was always taught to be modest and to be humble and not to self-aggrandize myself, but That was before I went through this very horrible experience that I'm still kind of going through that resulted in massive losses for myself. And then I realized that no one in life is going to toot your horn for you. Not really. Very few people do that. You know, that's something your mother does. And so I have to constantly remind people what my value is, what my worth is. So, like, I might be worth more than any of you put together. So I don't know why I get treated like, I don't even know, man. They treat me like an animal. I'm a U.S. citizen. I was born in New York. I was born outside of New York City. So I'm a double U.S. I'm a super citizen. I'm from New York, you know? See the soccer ball, yo. Oh shit. Oh man. I played soccer for my whole life. My whole life, man. I used to be playing, like, that's all I used to do. That's all I used to do between the age of 11 until like 18. That's how I socialized. That's how I met friends. That's how I had fun. Like, that's how, you know, this is my whole life was fucking around soccer. I'm Latin American, so like my dad's a big soccer fan, so is my grandpa, and like everyone in my family pretty much. So when I was a kid, I always idolized like the big soccer stars, and yeah, I mean, I wanted to like I wanted to play soccer professionally, which is like a ridiculous goal in the United States. Yeah, U.S. soccer, dude. U.S. soccer system is so fucked up. Like, see, in the rest of the world, people go pro at 18. In the U.S., they're going pro at like 22. Soccer career, you know, you usually don't make it to 30. So I mean, waiting until 22 years old when you graduate from college, you know, that's why the U.S. isn't competitive. Like, you know, because like in Argentina, Brazil, Germany, those guys are going pro at 18. And then, yeah, U.S. soccer's fucked up. The U.S. should get rid of college soccer. The U.S. should get rid of college soccer. College soccer is like the biggest waste of fucking money and talent ever. Like, and it's like no other country does soccer that way. What the U.S. should do is like just you know, like these MLS teams, they need to have youth academies. That's how they do it in Europe. Like, you could be playing for Barcelona at 12 years old. Like, that's how it is in Europe. So like you could get picked up by Barcelona when you're like 12, you know, and they develop you until you're old enough to sign a professional contract. And that's how Lionel Messi got signed. Lionel Messi is from Argentina, not from Spain, not from Barcelona. He was picked up by Barcelona scouts, like, who were like in Argentina, and then they like signed him to like it's called La Masia. It's like the academy in Spain, or in Catalan or whatever. And that's how Messi got his start. Messi like had been at Barcelona since he was like 12 years old, and he signed a professional contract at 16. Dude, oh shit, Messi was like a little kid. His first game, like, go on YouTube, look up Messi's first game. He was like, he looked like an 8th grader. Oh my God. You all right? So yeah, I'm not trying to go into detail anymore about specifics about what happened with me, but I'm still kind of like dealing with, I don't know, man. Like, I want to be clear about something. Like, no Ted, no Colin. Like, then don't bother me. Well, like, you don't have, like, I don't want to hear it, man. I don't want to feel it. Like, I don't know. Like, like the transit people are like fucking, they're being misled by the police department, I think. Or like, no, what it is like the other, like, I'm not a cop, but I know a lot of cops. The other cops who are like, they act like super fucking sketch. Like, and then the only person who has to deal with it is me. You know, especially when you're like the one white guy, like on the fucking bus, you know? So, I don't even know, man. I don't even know. But it was kind of like, it's kind of hot today for a little bit. Like, especially at Tyvola station. I was like, what the fuck? It was like fucking 10 people. It was like 10 people. Like, I was like, damn. I just said I wasn't gonna talk. I'm gonna pause this. Hold up. I haven't decided what I'm gonna do here. Hold up. I have to do this. I just have to watch how much I do it and when I do it. But the thing is, in Mecklenburg County, people are so dishonest. They will, like, someone will make up a lie. You know, it'll be one person that does it, you know, and then everybody runs with it, you know, or they just speculate, like, you know, into, like, I don't know, or they just like speculate ad nauseum, you know, and like no one asks me, like, yo, are you okay? You know, and then they'll start saying I'm not okay and I'm acting strange, and it's like, but no one is talking to me, so how would you know that? You know, and I don't know. Am I paranoid? Yeah, for sure. I have evidence to be paranoid. I have gone through just about anything a man can go through, so I'm gonna cross here and then like just go back, honestly, because I had a long day and I'm just trying to chill at home. But it's like, you know, it's like I leave the crib every single day, bro. And it's like, just like these people do in their car. You know, I just do it a little bit differently. You know, and it's some differences, you know. Like, just because you don't have a car, bro, that doesn't mean your life has to stop. You know, it shouldn't stop. Not when there's like public transportation. You know, the reason it exists is for you to use it, to utilize it. That's why it exists. That's why it's there. And, you know, not just like there's people who get in their car and they kind of drive aimlessly without a purpose. You know, there's people who do that on the bus. Same shit, dude. It's just everything on the bus, on the train takes a little longer. Okay? Where, like, how many places do you stop before you go home if you're driving a car? Just doing, you're making like 10 stops. You're doing a whole fucking errands list. Right? You might even go home, you know, you might even go back home several times throughout the day if you have a car. It's a little bit different when you use public transportation. When you know, I can do maybe 3 or 4 things in a day. I can't really do more than that. Whereas you're doing like 10, 20 things every day. I can do like 3 or 4. And then it's like, and when I leave the house, it's like, I'm gone for the day. There's no going back, for lunch or, going back like mid-afternoon. That's the difference between using public transportation and using a car. Obviously, and the amount of time it takes me to travel. So, hold on a second. Man, so I've speculated into oblivion before, ad nauseum. But the police, you have less of an excuse to speculate. No one ever asked me nothing. Because it's 10 times out of 10, I'm fine. I'm super well behaved. I'm very well behaved. And once again, it is my understanding that CMPD has severed ties with me indefinitely. They don't want anything to do with me. That means nothing to do with me. Forget my face, forget my name. This is what I was saying a month ago or something. There's gonna be a day that, you treat me so bad, I'm not gonna wanna be around you anymore. And then people are gonna miss me. And then they're gonna feel bad. And then, I'm not gonna wanna come back. I have a strong presence, I have a strong presence. People cannot forget about me. They're always going to be wondering. So I disagree with severing ties with me. But what it is like, CMPD could not find a way to incorporate me outside of putting me in a jail cell, which I was very disappointed in them. Because when I stopped getting in trouble, when I stopped allowing them to baselessly arrest me, when I stopped tolerating these infringements on my rights, then they lost all interest in me. Even though they told me that they were gonna hire me, that I was gonna work for the police department, even though I expressed interest in doing that. When they could not find a way to incorporate me at all outside of putting me in a jail cell. And I was very disappointed. I disagree with the severing of ties because it's like I'm not really ever gonna be forgotten. You know what I mean? But it's my understanding that that's what's going on. So that means all ties severed. I might talk to someone here and there, but it's like, I expect the following me around, I expect that to decrease. Okay, I expect the neighbors, fucking having a hissy fit because I fucking spoke a blunt, I expect that to decrease. I don't know. I expect to be left alone. Hell no. They've been trying to fucking, it's the people on the street, it's undercover people, but I don't know, they've been low-key trying to fucking, not arrest me. I don't know, they've just been kind of trying to intimidate me, into not going out. I go out every day, bro. But if I stay at the crib, you know what happens? People hover outside my fucking door all day. They don't leave me alone. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. It's not that big a deal, actually. It's really not. I've gotten good at this. This valet trash. I've gotten good at this. Every time someone provokes me, it just makes me happier. You really gotta kill people with kindness. It's like a basic survival mechanism that I had to develop because I've never been a friendly person. No, I'm not an overly friendly person. I'm nice. I'm kind. I don't hurt people, but I'm never been the guy smiling or chatting up a storm with anybody. But you really got to kill these people with kindness. Every time they provoke me, it just makes me happier. God bless everybody. God bless America. Thank you for your time and your consideration. I wish everyone the best. I'm gonna cut this off over here.